There's something that a lot of men experience but almost nobody talks about directly. You meet someone, things feel real. There's conversation, there's connection, there's that feeling that this might actually go somewhere. And for a while it does. She responds quickly. She makes time. She seems genuinely interested. And you think to yourself, okay, this is different. This one actually feels right. And then slowly, something shifts. The responses get a little slower. The plans get a little more vague. She's still there, but not fully there. Still talking, but not really saying anything. Still around, but always just out of reach. And you can feel it. You can't explain it, but you feel it. Like you're no longer the priority. Like you're there when nothing better is happening. Like you're close enough to keep, but not important enough to choose. And that feeling has a name. You're the backup plan. Not because you're not good enough. Not because you did something wrong. But because someone decided, consciously or not, that you're convenient, that you're safe, that you'll be there when they need something without requiring too much in return. And the worst part, you usually don't see it coming, because the beginning looks exactly the same as something real. The early energy, the attention, the way they make you feel seen, all of that can be genuine in the moment. But genuine in the moment doesn't mean committed over time. And that's the gap where everything falls apart. Because what you were experiencing wasn't investment, it was sampling. Someone testing the connection without ever intending to fully commit to it, keeping you close enough to feel the warmth, but far enough to maintain their options. And people do this without even realizing it sometimes. It's not always calculated. Sometimes it's confusion. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's just someone who hasn't decided what they want, and you became the comfortable middle ground while they figured it out. But comfortable middle ground is not a relationship, it's a waiting room. And here's what makes it so draining. You can sense the inconsistency, but you can't prove it. Everything looks fine on the surface. They haven't done anything obviously wrong. They haven't disappeared. They're still there, still giving you just enough to make you question your own instincts. Just enough to make you think maybe you're overthinking it. Maybe you're being too sensitive. Maybe things are fine and you're the problem. But you're not overthinking it. You're reading the pattern correctly. You just don't want to believe it. Because believing it means accepting that the connection you thought was real wasn't what you thought it was. And that's a hard thing to sit with. So instead you stay, you wait, you tell yourself things will shift when the timing is better, when she has less going on, when things settle down. And while you're waiting, she's not waiting for anything. She's living her life with you as a comfortable option in the background. Someone to talk to when she's bored, someone to lean on when things get hard, someone to keep around just in case. Just in case what? Just in case nothing better works out. And that's the truth that hits the hardest. You are not the person they're hoping will work out. You're the person they're settling for if nothing else does. Now here's what I want you to understand. This is not about her being a bad person. This is about a pattern that the modern dating environment has created. When options are unlimited, when attention is constant, when there's always another possibility just one message away, commitment becomes optional. People stop choosing and start collecting. They gather connections the way you save tabs on a browser, never fully using them, never fully closing them. And if you've been the backup plan more than once, it's not because you attract the wrong people. It's because you haven't made it clear enough to yourself and to others that being an option is not something you're available for. Because here's the thing about backup plans. They exist because someone let them, not consciously, not with bad intentions, but by staying when clarity wasn't there, by investing when investment wasn't being matched, by accepting half of what you actually wanted and calling it enough. And the moment you stop accepting that, the moment you decide your time, your energy, your presence, is not available for someone who can't make a decision about you, everything changes. Not because you become cold, not because you stop caring, but because you finally start treating yourself the way you were expecting someone else to treat you, with consistency, with intention, with the understanding that you are not something to be kept on standby. Because a person who genuinely wants you doesn't keep you in the background. They don't make you wonder where you stand. They don't give you just enough to stay confused. When someone actually sees your value, they make it clear. Not perfectly, not without uncertainty, but clearly enough that you never have to question whether you're an option or a choice. And until you find that, until someone shows up with that kind of clarity, The most important thing you can do is refuse to settle into that in-between space where so many people get stuck for months, sometimes years, waiting for someone to finally decide. Because you are not a backup plan, and the moment you start living like it, everything around you will start to reflect it.